if you're looking to use h2x to do a hot and cold water system design, good news because this is one of h2x's most developed features. I'm now going to run through the specific aspects of this system and run you through all the different tools you can use. Okay, so using the layout that we set out on the basics of design video, we're now going to add some fixtures and connect them to those reticulation pipes. So dropping down the fixture menu here, you can see we've got a various list of different fixtures that you can use. This will be based off a water peak flow rate methodology, which will be used to calculate the diversity of the flow rates based on the number of loading units associated with each fixture. So from this drop down menu, I'm going to choose a toilet. I think that represent the piston. I'm also going to choose a bath, rotate it using the arrows on my keyboard. So I'm just clicking right on the arrows on my keyboard, and I'm going to do a left click to stamp it down on the plan. Last things is a basin. You may notice that we have hot and warm water fixtures. The difference between these are that you can use a tempering valve or a mixing valve in order to give you that warm water connection. I'm going to use a warm water basin to give you an example of this when we come to connect up the hot water, but we can rotate that using the arrows on the keyboard and stamp it down with a left click. To connect these up to the cold water articulations, we can either use our branch pipe tool at the top here, left click on there, where we can then connect to the toilet, or we can connect from the pipe using the dashed line indicator there, keeping things lined up. And you can see that if we go from the toilet to that pipe there, that will then light up the fixture and also light up the connecting pipe. If you wanted to have h2x connect that automatically, you'll left click on the fixture, hold control, and click on the pipe as well while it's still holding control. It's auto connect, and h2x will automatically route that pipe work out the back of the bath and over to the main reticulation there. Just need to edit this pipe height to make sure that that runs below the floor from the wall. We'll repeat that one more time for this basin. Sometimes it may go to the nearest connection point. So in that instance, just do a Control Z, connect it with a branch pipe out the back, type in H to drop that to -0.1, where we're now connecting to our reticulation underneath the basin. To set up the hot water connections, we need to put our cold water main reticulation through a piece of hot water plant to convert the cold water into hot water. You can either select the hot water plant from the drop down menu on the water flow system, or you can go to the heating flow system and select the dedicated hot water cylinder that we have as part of that workflow. I'm going to use the hot water cylinder in this instance and placed it here. All that we need to do is go back to the water system and run pipes from here over to our cylinder covered location. Connect that into the back of the cylinder like so. On the cylinder itself, you can go to the outlets tab and you can select what your flow and return temperatures will be in the case that you want to design a hot water recirculation system. I'll do a separate video on hot water recirculation systems and how they work, but for the sake of this design, because it is a smaller residential property, I'm going to go to outlets and say that this isn't a recirculation system. One thing to remember, if you are using the domestic hot water cylinder, you need to enter a kilowatt rating onto the inlets tab here. This will just allow the calculations to be carried out. It won't actually affect the cold water sizing or the hot water sizing calculations. If we switch over to hot water, we'll be able to draw our hot water main pipes in the same way that we've done our cold water pipes. To start, simply click on the hot water outlet from the cylinder, drop it below the floor, and run that alongside the hot water. And run that alongside the cold water. Now, to connect up to a warm water fixture in H2x, you need to either use the tempering valve or the TMV. In this instance, I'm going to use the TMV, and if we select that from the menu bar at the top, that will snap to our hot and cold water pipes, and it will allow us to connect our warm water connection to that from the basin. It'll also allow you to connect your cold water pipes from it, so I'm going to delete the cold water connection that's existing, and click on the basin, click on the TMV, holding control, and hit auto connect. We can then alter these elbow connections by clicking on them, holding control, and moving them like this. I'm going to edit these pipes as well, make sure that they line up with what they're connected to. If you place down a fixture over the top of one marked on your PDF plan and it's oversized like this, you can click onto it and you can reduce the size using this slider. You'll then be able to move that closer and then connect up the system design as needed. Once you hit results, h2x is going to give you some suggested pipe sizing and all of the calculation information you need here. You can look through these on the result filters to the side. Look at things like the loading units, the velocities, the pressure drops for the pipes, the plant and the fixtures. I'll do another video that breaks down the results in more detail, but for now, that's how you get a system design fully set up for hot and cold water.